Hi everyone, I'm Suad, or as you may know, Lady Spatula. Thank you all for joining me today, and first I want to wish you all a Ramadan Kareem, as it is only a few days away. And I'm actually very happy and pleased to have been invited here today by Lulu Hypermarkets to share with you one of my favorite all-time, not only Arabic desserts, but Ramadan desserts, which is the Layali Lebnan. It is a very easy recipe, very simple recipe, and I will be preparing it today with you. And also, Lulu Hypermarkets has been very generous and is giving a lot of people an opportunity to win vouchers worth 250 dirhams each if you answer 3 questions that I'll be asking throughout this live session with you today, and I will be announcing the winners at the end of the session. So listen carefully to the things that I say throughout the sessions, because the answers might very possibly be there. Now, before I start, let me ask you the first question. The dessert is Layali Lebnan. Can you tell me where this dessert originates? I'll be waiting for your answers. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start preparing this very delicious dessert. Now, the ingredients are very easy and very simple. I will be using semolina. I will be using sugar, some powdered milk to create the base of the dessert. And after that, I'll add some water, I will heat it, and then I will create the whipped cream layer using some whipped cream powder as well as some fresh cream to create that layer. So let's start. Over here, before you turn on the heat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1 cup of semolina. Now you can use coarse semolina or fine semolina. I prefer to use fine, but whatever you have handy works. So we're adding 1 cup of this and 1 cup of powdered milk. And then I am adding half a cup of white sugar. I'm gonna mix it all up. Just give it a nice stir. And then I'm gonna add 3 cups of water. One, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to turn on the heat. You want it to be medium-high heat. And do not leave its side for a second, you guys. You're just going to be stirring the whole time until it begins to thicken. Now, the reason I tell you not to go anywhere while you're doing this is because this process is the most critical process in the whole recipe. The minute it starts to thicken just a little bit, it thickens very quickly. So you want to be there when that happens and not allow it to get too thick. So I'm just trying to stir and combine all the ingredients and make sure they are all mixed very well while it is heating. And then we are going, of course, to flavor it with some delicious Arabic flavors like rose water, orange blossom water, some mastic powder. Now you can choose to eliminate some of these ingredients or to just add whatever you like. All right, so here we are stirring it. It's all combined now. It's becoming the smooth texture. And now I'm just gonna keep moving it around until it begins to thicken. And then once it starts to thicken, I'll remove it from the heat. The thickness of the semolina base is also kind of up to you. Personally, I don't like it to be too thick because it will become more firm when you refrigerate it. And I like it to have that kind of slightly softer texture. Others like to really firm it up pretty well. So that is up to you guys. Now, we are almost there. I can feel it kind of start to get heavier. You will tell that it's starting to get thicker as you stir, because the stirring and the whisk becomes a little heavier. Of course, the reason I love this recipe is not only because it is super easy to make, but because it really requires minimal ingredients that are usually available in most Arab households, I'm gonna say. And it's perfect for Ramadan. It's perfect to share with your loved ones. And actually today I'm gonna make it in individual cups, which is not the usual way of serving it. Usually it is served as a full plate or a full serving platter, but I decided today to make it in individual cups to show you different ways of serving this delicious dessert. Right? And you can see that it's kind of milky. Now, I'm repeating, I used fine semolina, but if you use coarse semolina, or what they call rough semolina, it will have a more grainier texture, which is also really good. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you have that, you can use that. But if you like a smoother, finer texture, then the small or fine semolina is the way to go. And I always recommend that you use stainless steel or metal pots when you are making this, especially this step, so it doesn't burn the milk as you cook it. And it doesn't stick to the base of the pan either. So as you can see, I have not stopped stirring the whole time. Like I said, this is really, really quite critical actually. Now, we know that Ramadan desserts are very sweet, very sugary, very syrupy as well, and they're very creamy. Most of the Arabic or most of the Ramadan desserts are very creamy. We love to add a lot of cream, a lot of ashta, which is fresh cream or fresh clotted cream. We love our cheeses, and we love adding sugar syrup to absolutely all our desserts. And this is actually going to be part of this dessert as well. When we serve it, we like to serve it with some sugar syrup, a drizzle of sugar syrup. Alternately, you can always add some honey. My husband loves drizzling some honey over this, and it tastes really, really good with honey. So again, that's a personal preference. Here we go. I can see the frothiness of the milk around the pan. That is a good sign. It means I need to be more careful now. It will literally take a few seconds once it starts to thicken. You will not even have time to get it off the heat. So here we go. I can see it taking texture. If you look really closely, it is getting heavier now. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. You see? It's getting thicker. And in a couple of seconds, I'm gonna take it off the heat and start plating it in my individual cups. You see? Here we go. And this is all I need. I am going to switch this off now. And you see how thick it suddenly became very, very quickly. So now I'm going to grab this and I'm going to start plating very quickly before it thickens more. And here we go. You see how thick it became? Just in a matter of seconds. Now I'm going to get a small spoon, and you want to just give it a nice smoother layer. Spread it out like this with the back of a spoon. And now we are going to refrigerate these and start working on the cream layer. You want this to cool down before you place the cream layer. So I'm just placing them in the fridge. Okay. Now that we're halfway through, we are going to ask you the second question. This is the halfway mark, you guys, so I hope you've been paying attention, because the second question is really, really easy. What is the main ingredient used in this dessert? Think about it, and I'll be waiting for your answers, and I hope you've been paying attention. Okay. In the meantime, we are going to create the cream layer of this delicious dessert while it is cooling down in the fridge. Okay. Now, I have here about 3 envelopes of whipped cream powder. And this is actually a method that I learned from my mom. It is so easy, so much, for me, it is so much easier than the other recipes that usually make. And then I'm gonna add to it about a can to a can and a half of fresh cream. You can use any brand that you like. All right, just like that, very easy. All right, and then all you do is you whip it up to form a thick, creamy consistency. Just make sure this is working properly. Here we go. Just like that, we're done with the cream layer. Now, we've come to the final countdown of this recipe. We are going to start layering this cream on top of the semolina layer that we created. Now, once we do that, we're going to also decorate it with some delicious nuts. The decoration is completely up to you. I like to use some crushed pistachios. You can use some crushed almonds. You can use pine nuts or coconut powder. anything and everything is acceptable. And also a point that I want to make is that this cream, you can also choose to flavor it with some rose water or orange blossom water or just a pinch of mastic powder. That also works, completely up to you. So let's check on the semolina layers. Now, the good thing about this, and especially that I've used individual cups and not a bigger serving platter, is that they cool very quickly and very easily. So you don't have to keep them or wait too long for them in the fridge for them to cool down. Now, I'm gonna use a spoon for this, and I'm literally just gonna put on a dollop of cream and then spread it out using the back of the spoon. And you can put as much as you like. The thickness is completely up to you. I love my cream thick. So I'm gonna try to create a thick layer of cream on top of the semolina. The smell, you guys, is absolutely delicious. I wish you can smell it. And I hope that you will all be making this and trying it out for yourselves and realizing how easy it actually is. Here we go. Look at this. It is so rich, so indulgent. Here we go. So now is the fun part, which is for me the decorating part. I'll put this on the side and I'm going to show you. So I'm using crushed pistachios. And since we're doing this for the occasion of the holy month, I decided to give it a little bit of a festive decor, let's say. So I am going to try to create crescent shapes using the pistachio to kind of give it a more of a, you know, like a Ramadan vibe, which would look very nice when you've served them up this Ramadan. While I'm doing this, I'm going to ask you the third and final question. And you guys, this is your last chance to participate and your last chance to win vouchers from Lulu Hypermarket worth 250 dirhams each. So the last question is, and this one is maybe the hardest one, where was the most recent store of Lulu Hypermarket opened? In Dubai. I might have given you a hint there. So think about it, figure it out, maybe ask a friend and give us your answers. We will be waiting and we will be choosing the winners very soon. In the meantime, look how cute this is. It is really, really nice. It is such a lovely way to prep and plate and serve your desserts this Ramadan. It's really just all about creativity. It's about that extra oomph. It's about giving your regular desserts and recipes just that little extra flavor for this holy month. So you can see here, I am just plating this. Now, obviously, once I'm done here, you have to refrigerate this dessert for at least a couple of hours before you can eat it. Just a little extra tail here. All right, and just like that. Guys, I really, really like this. And the reason I love to use pistachios in my desserts, in my Arabic desserts mainly, is because that green color really pops and gives it a lovely, lovely kind of change from all the white that usually our desserts consist of. So this is what the dessert looks like. Now I did prepare some desserts in advance, just so I can show you what the consistency and the feel of it is like. So I'm going to take them out of the fridge now. So these are the two Layali Lebnan cups that I made yesterday and have refrigerated. And look how beautiful they look. Now we have here the sugar syrup. We call it atr in Arabic. And this is a kind of like a must on all of our Arabic desserts, like I said earlier. So all you do is you kind of grab a spoonful and then you just drizzle on top of it. All right. And that's it, you guys. You grab a spoon and you dig in and enjoy. And look at that. Let me show you just the texture. It's firmed up very nicely. You see the cream layer and the semolina layer. You can tell. And it's just beautiful. It is perfect. There's the semolina layer. And you see how it's firm, but it still has that soft consistency that I wanted to go for. So it's absolute perfection. You guys, you must try this recipe. I am sure you're going to love it. It is so easy to make. It literally took us no time to prepare it from A to Z. The hardest part, I think, is having to wait for it to cool down in the fridge for a couple of hours before digging in. But otherwise, you have yourself a super duper delicious Ramadan dessert that is ready in a matter of, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. That's all it takes. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I sure have, and I'm going to be enjoying this more once this is over. But now we are going to announce the winners of the 3 questions that we asked. I'm just waiting to receive the names of the winners that I'll be announcing very, very soon, in a matter of minutes, maybe less. And I guess congratulations to all of you. And thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you so much for having me and for watching me. And I really, really, really hope that you try this at home and you enjoyed it as much as I enjoy it. All right, I think we're getting the winners' names now. All right. So for the first question, we have our 3 winners. Kavita Kira, congratulations. Thata Sindatok and Aisha Angel. Congratulations to the 3 of you for guessing that the recipe originates from Lebanon, hence the name Layali Lebnan, which literally translates to the nights of Lebanon. Now, the second question was, what is the main ingredient used in this dessert? And the answer is semolina, which I've mentioned several times throughout the session. And the 3 winners are Fatima Farhat, Rahman Sayed, and Shaida Hamid. Congratulations for winning vouchers worth 250 dirhams each. And the last question, which was the hardest and which was guessing where the newest store location of Lulu was in Dubai, which is Al Warsan. We have Maryam Osman, Haridia Anoop, Shabnam Ara, and Julie Pinais. Congratulations to all our winners. Thank you so much for participating with us. We will be getting in touch with you for you to receive your vouchers, and have a lovely, lovely evening. Thank you.
Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200th store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200th store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200th store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200th store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200 store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop safely, celebrating the launch of 200 store. Lulu, where the world comes to shop